On March 4, 2022, something hit the moon at 5,800 miles per hour. NASA called it Space Jew. Case closed. But when scientists finally photographed the impact site, they found something that doesn't exist in any accident report. Two craters, side by side, where there should have been one. And the part that was quietly removed from the public summary is exactly where this story starts. Here's what every major outlet reported. A piece of rocket debris, cataloged as WE0913A, drifted through cislunar space for years and finally struck the lunar surface near Hertzsprung crater on the far side of the moon. Space.com covered it. BBC picked it up. The story was tidy, old junk, low priority, no concern. For a few weeks, that was enough. But Bill Gray, the independent astronomer who had been tracking WE0913A since 2015 using Project Pluto software, flagged something the press didn't report. 3 details that didn't fit the official framing. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. First, the crater. In June 2022, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter captured the impact site, NASA LRO, June 2022. What it showed wasn't one crater, it was 2 overlapping craters, roughly 18 and 16 meters wide, sitting 30 meters apart. A single piece of hollow rocket casing doesn't do that. To create a double crater, you need significant mass on both ends of the object. That's not how spent rocket stages are built. NASA's public statement acknowledged the double crater. It offered no explanation. Would you publish a photo that raises more questions than it answers and then say nothing? Second, the orbit. Project Pluto's tracking data, compiled between 2015 and 2022, shows WE0913A made several trajectory adjustments during its years of Drift Project Pluto 2022. Dead hardware doesn't adjust. Inert rocket bodies tumble. They don't correct course. The data shows controlled positional changes across multiple orbital passes. Scientists confirmed this anomaly independently. NASA's public report never mentioned it. Third, the denial. On March 4, 2022, within 6 hours of impact confirmation, China's foreign ministry officially stated that may be true. The Long March 3C upper stage had safely re-entered the atmosphere years earlier. Chinese Foreign Ministry. Press briefing, March 4th, 2022, 6 hours. To analyze orbital trajectory data, cross-reference a 7-year tracking history, and issue a formal government denial. The data shows that timeline is extraordinarily fast. NASA's public report never mentioned that either. Up until now, you thought this was about space junk. Here's why it's not. What if the far side wasn't a coincidence? The far side of the moon has no line of sight to Earth. No ground-based telescope watches it in real time. What if someone needed an impact site with no witnesses? The U.S. Space Force began tracking WE0913A 48 hours before impact on March 2, 2022. That's not routine, that's prioritization. And the data from the double crater matches exactly what a dual mass payload impact would look like. The data matches what a controlled insertion test would look like. Can you think of a reason to hide a double crater if it was just an accident? Now look at what happened after. May 2022, the crash is officially confirmed. August 2022, NASA announces $6 billion in new lunar infrastructure funding in the FY 2023 budget request, including expanded surveillance capabilities. September 2022, Artemis mission documentation is updated with new debris tracking and lunar monitoring protocols. NASA FY 2023 budget, September 2022. Governments don't spend reacting to accidents. They spend billions reacting to threats. A rocket hit the moon on March 4, 2022. That is confirmed fact. Why it left 2 craters, why a government denied ownership in 6 hours, and why the far side was the destination, none of that is in any public report. The question isn't what crashed, it's what else is operating up there that we haven't been told about. What do you think they found?